Welcome to the program. You're watching the Daily V News by the VNA. And next are today's stories in brief.
President Trương Tấn-sang on February the 6th inspected the model of New Style rural area in Đại Lộc district, Quảng Nam province. Rice export dropped almost 50% in January to 279,000 tons, with Asia being the largest market of Vietnamese rice. Despite the global financial crisis, many foreign investors retain high expectations for the Vietnamese property market in 2012.
On February 6th, President Trương Tấn-sang visited the central province of Quảng Nam, where he inspected the model of new style rural area in Đại Lộc district.
The president praised the 4 pilot communes for fulfilling many of the criteria to qualify as new style rural areas, which require improvements in infrastructure, economic restructuring, and poverty reduction, as well as better access to public and welfare services. As part of his tour, President Sang visited the ethanol plant in the Tân Industrial Complex, which has a capacity of 100,000 tons a year. Beginning operation in September 2010, the plant employs over 300 workers and consumes cassava grown by local farmers. The president also called at the tool-making factory invested by Grossberger Company of Germany in the An Industrial Complex. This is the country's first high-tech factory producing knitting needles, which turn out 300 million pieces a year for export.
And National Assembly Chairman Nguyễn Sinh Hùng attended a conference of businesses and investors in the central province of Nghệ An on February 5th. Let's see the story.
Nearly 400 businesses and investors nationwide participated in the conference, the fourth of its kind held in the province. Speaking at the event, the top legislator highlighted the potential for development in Nghệ An. The province is situated in a strategic location with easy access by both land and sea. It also has a large population and abundant forest resources. He said Nghệ An should work harder to improve the investment environment, first of all transport infrastructure. Since the first conference in 2009, more than 30 investment agreements worth nearly 40 trillion Vietnam đồng have been signed and implemented on schedule in Nghệ An, of which many social welfare projects have proven effective, helping reduce poverty and improve the living standards for local residents. They include the Saigon, Sông Lam, and Hà Nội Nghệ An beer projects worth a total 12.3 trillion Vietnam đồng, the $350 million TH mill processing plant, and the 1 trillion Vietnam đồng non-burnt brick project in Đồng Hới. Nghệ An province is carrying out several other large-scale projects, such as the Cửa Lò deep water seaport, the Đồng Hới specialized port, the Combenco steel factory, and the Quỳnh Lập thermal electric power plant, which has a capacity of 2,400 megawatts.
In January, Vietnam has shipped more than 279,000 tons of rice abroad, bringing home $153 million, a 50% decrease year on year.
According to the Vietnam Food Association, in January, Asia was the largest market for Vietnamese rice, importing 228,000 tons, or 81.7% of the country's total rice export volume. It was followed by America, which imported more than 27,000 tons, making up 9.75%. Other importers were countries in Africa, the Middle East, and Europe. The association predicted that several first months of 2012 will see a sharp increase in rice export from India and Pakistan, causing difficulties to other rice exporters, including Vietnam. The Mekong Delta region, the country's largest granary, completed plantation of rice on 1.56 million hectares for the winter-spring crop. The region is expected to harvest an output of 10.3 million tons, equal to the number of the same crop last year.
The Ministry of Construction has forecast that demand for cement may reach 56 million tons this year, accounting for an increase of 12% over last year.
To meet the demands, the Vietnam Cement Industry Corporation plans to turn out about 19.5 million tons, while other cement companies in the country will produce a combined volume of 37 million tons. The industry produced 2.9 million tons and sold an estimated 2.85 million tons in January. The low consumption is attributed to the long Lunar New Year holiday, during which all construction work came to a halt as the nation celebrated the year's largest festival.
Despite the global financial crisis, many foreign investors retain high expectations for the Vietnamese property market. Last year, the Association of Foreign Investors in Real Estate ranked Vietnam fourth among emerging markets for its attractiveness.
In 2011, Vietnam was voted as the leading destination for Singaporean investors in Southeast Asia, surpassing Malaysia and India. This move showed that foreign investors are expecting a real estate market revival in the country in the near future.
2011 has definitely been a tough year for the market in general. Fortunately, as I said earlier, we were in a position where we weren't seeking new capital. We weren't seeking new financing from local banks, but we were actually finishing up projects and selling out projects.
While Vietnamese businesses are struggling with capital shortage, which forces them to find new financial resources, such as reselling entire projects or seeking joint venture opportunities, foreign investors have more favorable conditions to penetrate the market. Many investors now tend to choose indirect investment, such as pouring debt capital into domestic and foreign fund management companies operating in Vietnam. It is considered the best legal investment channel, which offers the lowest risk to investors. Last year, our country attracted a large amount of foreign direct investment and overseas remittances. They will serve as another capital channel for the real estate market in the near future. According to the Foreign Investment Agency, the total FDI in Vietnamese real estate reached over $464 million in the first 11 months of last year. Meanwhile, the Vietnam Competitiveness Management Agency reported that the country saw 73 merger and acquisition deals from the beginning of last year. Of them, as many as 22 deals worth nearly $250 million were in real estate, with domestic businesses transferring projects to foreign partners. Recently, we have requested both domestic and foreign investors pay deposits as one of the requirements for issuing licensee. Many investors took advantage of loopholes in construction and housing laws, as well as others related to real estate, to get licenses and then delay their projects. For this reason, we impose this term to tie them down. It is forecast that many experienced investors from the Republic of Korea and the US will flock to Vietnam this year. Many new investment funds will be set up, and many Asian and Middle East businesses will appear. Trade centers and mid-range apartments are also expected to attract foreign investment in the near future.
Every year on the 14th day of the first lunar month, in this case the 5th of this month, as a tradition, the Truyền Temple located in the northern province of Nam Định holds the seal opening ceremony. This event holds a great deal of significance in our culture, drawing thousands of visitors to the sacred ground every year.
The ceremony was a reenactment of a custom dating back to the Truyền dynasty from 1225 to 1400, when mandarins took out their seals after the Tet holiday, resuming administrative activities, including rewarding and conferring titles. It has become a tradition for Vietnamese to come here to get a stamp in hope for good luck and happiness. The event opened with a procession to take the seal from Go Trek Temple to Thiên Trường Temple, where 14 kings of the Truyền dynasty are worshipped. Following a short speech of a local official praising the great accomplishment of the Truyền dynasty, the seal opening ceremony was held in a simple and solemn manner in line with the traditional rites. Replicas of the Truyền temple seal were distributed to the public from 7 a.m. on the 15th day of the first lunar month till the end of the lunar month, helping ease the crowd of pilgrims.
And that's all for today. Thank you for joining me, and goodbye.